I'm delighted to host another Women Warriors Network event, Female Leadership versus Male Leadership. I am Sandy Donnelly, passionate advocate for healthy living, female entrepreneurship and empowerment. Women Warriors Network was created to inspire women who would class themselves as ordinary. The reality is these women are extraordinary in business and life every single day. So please, guys, introduce yourselves in the chat at the side. Just let us know where you're from and what you do and your names. And, you know, it gives you an opportunity to connect with other people who are maybe out of your network. So I'd like you to do that. So Women Warriors was founded in the midst of the pandemic when, without choice, I had to put my health and well-being retreats and business all on hold. Fortunately, I have a private pre-wedding kind of healthy retreat this weekend in Chichester, which I'm so excited because it's been over 18 months since I've delivered any of these retreats, and it's something I absolutely love doing. So I'm very excited about that one. So during lockdown, I realized there were many women who needed people and networks to support them during the exceptionally challenging times. So with my Warriors attitude, it led me to set up the Women Warriors Network. So it exists to bring inspirational women and men who support, motivate, and change people's lives. So the platform allows you all to connect with other people outside of your day-to-day networks. There's a great example, actually, I know she's running a bit late, of one of our Women Warriors speakers, Nadine Van Dongen from PIP Health, but she's running later, so I'll let her explain later one of the good examples about what this brought for her. So Women Warriors virtual gatherings provides an opportunity to learn and develop new skills, attitudes and behaviours so they can become even more extraordinary. So thank you once again. I'm very delighted and excited to welcome you to this power hour. So we won't run over, guys. We like to stay within that time so people don't get bored. We keep you very interested. So women in tech are empowering the world with crypto, cybersecurity, virtual reality. And today we have more super smart, beautiful women in tech. And I know this is like completely out of me personally, my realm. And so for me, I know, and for lots of other people, this is going to be a great interest to hear you ladies speaking. So it's very exciting. I'm very honored and privileged to have you on board. Hopefully, I keep saying this, when things settle down, the world becomes a little bit more normal and we can travel. I plan to hold these events in Monaco, UAE, Netherlands, Jersey, anywhere, London, everywhere. So today, the topic being female leadership versus male leadership. So what does it mean to me, just me personally? We need men. I love men, I love women, I love all people, but we need men beside us and we need to inspire them as women warriors. So they need us equally. So who really is the better leader? It's all down to the individual, and gender really shouldn't come into it. It's people's individual skills, the way they are educated, the way they behave, you know, so any of these people can be leaders. Men are important for us to achieve, learn and blossom. So although this network was set up predominantly for women to lead, and this is the way I wish to keep it, because I want these women leaders to shine through, I also want men to continue giving us that support, and for us likewise, so we work together as a team. So it just builds this nice global network with us all together. Anyway, we had over 1,000, well over 1,000 people sign up to this event, which has really, once again, blown me away. As I said, the first event was only in March and I expected 20 to 30 people or so. And I think there was 350 plus. Excuse me, then it went on 400, 500, 600, 700 and then up to 1,000. So to me, I'm super excited to see the way it's growing at such an extent. And it also shows the power of networking, even through a global pandemic. So just bear in mind, guys, some people log on through Zoom. We've got it live running through a number of different channels also. So on that note, I have this incredible lineup today, which is excited me greatly. I'll introduce the speakers back and start with the first speaker I've introduced. So we have Manila di Giovanni, with that lovely name. It's obviously Italian, but based in Monaco, CEO and founder of D World. Katharine Wooller from the UK, from my hometown, MD of is it Dasky?
Daxi.
Daxi, a lead for women who crypto. So this is really engaging and exciting for me to hear, because I have no idea and I cannot wait to hear more, but I know I want more than an hour's worth. Mary Jo Leeuw. Now, Mary Jo Leeuw is from the Netherlands, women tech leaders. She's been voted the top one within the top 100 in the last 3 or 4 years, I think it is. So great to have her on board also. And then Hasnae Taleb, she's Moroccan, based in the UAE, member of the US Chamber of Commerce, and she was voted one of the youngest traders, if I recall rightly. We'll hear all about that. So on that note, I'm going to go and unmute lovely Manila and welcome Manila. Hold on, asked to unmute. This is where my technical issues come in.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can. So Manila is an Italian technopreneur, CEO and founder of D World, which is, well, I'll let her tell you all about it, based in Monaco. So Manila, thank you so very much for joining us on this morning. And it's just a pleasure to have you on board.
Thanks to all of you for having me. My pleasure.
Good. So she is young and super, super talented at such a very young age, which is incredible. So how did you get into the tech world?
Well, I studied business administration, which didn't cover at all the tech industry. However, I always had like this strong passion for the latest technologies and wanted to create like a positive impact to the world. And I've been also addicted to the Japanese and Asian culture, which has shaped a lot my vision for setting up the world, and it gave me a lot of inspirations since I love the sci-fi genre. But most importantly, it was thanks to my internship in China, because while I was doing my internship there for an AI startup, my CEO brought me all the way from Shanghai to Shenzhen to attend 1.5 week conferences with major government people, investors, and leads with whom I had to interact. And during that conference, I discovered the power of 3D technology from a Chinese company, and saw the potential of being able to virtualize the whole world. Which made me realize that my idea that I was developing during high school was feasible, and it was actually the time to get started. In fact, I contacted my current co-founder, Christian, and we teamed up. I returned to Monaco. I explained to him the idea of D World. He loved it, and we initiated our journey together while finding new partners.
Let me unmute. My God, you know, that's just so impressive. And I think even down to your doing the internship in China, I mean, that must have been an incredible experience for you.
Yes, it was like a very incredible experience. That internship and the one I had before in Singapore were the ones that shaped me a lot and made me enter the business world at full speed.
Your family must be very, very proud, and people around you. I mean, so proud, because you're onwards and up. I can just see it. You're going to fly in this world. Absolutely. So tell us.
Proud, but also anxious, let's say.
Tell us though about D World and how virtual reality is revolutionizing the way we live. So to me, I've looked at your website, I've looked at your media articles, and it's fascinating.
At D World, we simply envision a better and more inclusive, sustainable world while creating the first ever virtual economy, which we define as the V economy, directly through our virtual reality platform. It can also be seen as a parallel world, a parallel virtual world working hand in hand with the real one. I had this idea before the pandemic, but COVID-19 has shown the real need to virtualize our cities, not only to make them accessible to people globally from all over the world, not only to make them feel the traveling experience and visiting a different culture, but also to help the local economies, which are the ones that are mainly struggling during this period. That's why there won't be just a virtual reproduction of cities to improve their urban planning and turning them into their enhanced smart city version. But the goal is also to have a virtual reproduction of all the enterprises, be it small or big, in all the various diversified economic sectors to operate within our virtual economy. So we'll provide new jobs also in this virtual economy that for sure are going to take shape in the near future. This is what I strongly believe, like new jobs that require people to work remotely are going to start taking shape. Thus, people are able to visit the cities that we recreated, go on a shopping spree, attend events, visit apartments, yachts, interact with famous celebrities, and much more within our multi-user virtual platform, which actually combines gamification with the real life experiences.
Fine. Don't you think you coming into this at this stage during this pandemic particularly, it's perfect timing. This is what everybody needs. This is giving everybody, even us now, we're on a Zoom call running an event, which is what lots of us have done over the last year or so. But even, as you said, for work, looking at viewing apartments, shopping, whatever it may be, if we can virtually see that, we feel like we're there, it's going to reduce the amount of travel and expense, etc., and to help people moving forward for the economy, for everything.
Yes, I strongly believe that it is the perfect timing, and I didn't do it on purpose. I swear I didn't. I wasn't the one putting COVID in the world, so it was
you. But no, that's excellent. I think excellent. And we know this is the way forward. I personally miss travel terribly. I really, really do. But this network has gave me and lots of other people the opportunity to connect with people globally, but actually speak with them also. It's not just an email, we're actually speaking with them. So at least I know we all love being with people in person. I love to hug people and touch people, shake hands, but at least this gives us something, and it's definitely the way, the way forward. I'm based in Covent Garden, and I've got to the right of me the Google building, one of the Google buildings, and a lot of the media tech companies, and they've been empty. It's actually quite sad to see for the last, our apartment's sort of there, and these buildings are here. And it's been quite sad to see them empty for all of this period of time. But that it's going forward, it's probably, you're going to see these office spaces becoming more and more empty. They're going to be able to reduce that down. So you've got the pros and the cons of it, but what you're doing, you're spot on. So incredible.
Hopefully we move forward.
Absolutely. So female leadership in a predominantly man's world, starting out so young, have you experienced any hurdles in the tech world as you've been building your business?
Well, to tell the truth, so far I didn't face such strong, very harsh hurdles. Starting the business wasn't extremely hard compared to starting it in other countries because I got with me the right team that has helped me getting set up. So there's this mixture between me being the female leader and my co-founder being the male counterpart, helping me out in this journey. The main issue was mainly the bureaucratic process of registering the company, because it took us almost 9 months. It was something absurd. I've never heard of a company being set up in 9 months. We couldn't start anything. As a female, I find myself taking care of the business and the people working with me as though they are all like a member of my family. It's like they're all my little kids. Like every time that I have someone that says that they're like sick, not being able to complete the work, even though it's in tight deadlines, I understand their circumstances. While instead I find many male leaders not being so empathic towards these issues. So internally, I've never felt any sort of discomfort, and we respect each other in the same way. Even when I speak with potential leads and individuals, I feel on the same level. Also, like I think that what has helped me the most was developing my personal character. I'm a person that gains respect by demonstrating that I can achieve things, that I know what I'm talking about, and by showing my integrity, and that people can really trust me. Like I'm not trying to cheat on anything. I'm not like being unethical. Like this is very important, especially in the business world where there are different people that try to scam you. I've already faced these issues in the past. Now the biggest hurdle for us is actually finding the investments. Like we are diversifying our portfolio of investors as much as possible. And I'm curious to know if someone of these investors may judge positively or negatively a female-led tech startup. Also, in November, we'll be in the Dubai 2020 Expo to interact with the other international entrepreneurs and government people while representing Monaco, since our team of the country is visiting Monaco in 360, which is completely in line with what we're doing. So I'm looking forward to see if my experience there in Dubai, in the UAE, is going to be positive or negative. If I may experience some sort of gender discrimination, since it's hard in that area. And I know that Hasnae is based in the UAE now, so I also can't wait to hear her opinion for this.
That is incredible. So I was not involved with Dubai Expo 2020, but I was based in the UAE for a couple of years. So it was always the Expo 2020, and obviously due to COVID, it's been delayed until November. But you are going to rock Dubai. You're going to absolutely be incredible there and with your business. And yes, there are the hurdles of probably between male and females there, you know, there is still a bit of an issue, but it's definitely coming up in the world where it's a lot more equal. There's a lot more equality, which is great to see. And one of our speakers, Hasnae, who's on later, she will actually confirm that in what she's achieved also. So onwards and up. And one more thing though, before we move on, Manila, is like to do with the investors. I mean, a lot of us with our businesses, you know, we're always looking for investors, but when you show that you have got that integrity, you've got the skills, the experience, you know what you're doing, you're talking about, you know, this is a great platform for you to put it out there. So please, you know, any of the people who've maybe joined today or any of the contacts who are in within my network to do with this, because it's just, there's thousands there, you know, it's worth tapping in, and we can put a few things out to maybe enhance that, highlight it, because you're doing great.
Thanks, Sandy, really.
Oh, no, it's fantastic. And I can't wait to meet you personally.
Well, whenever you want.
As soon as I can get on a plane, I will be. I'll be back in Monaco. Manila, we'll leave it there with you. I'll just meet you there. Thank you very, very much, and we will come back to you afterwards if there's any questions or anything else we can add. So thank you very much. That's very interesting. Thank you. So moving on to this wonderful lady, Katharine. Oh, sorry, I'd unmuted and then you muted you, sorry. So Katharine and I had a little chat, I think it was last week or so. And again, I was just blown away with her background, with what she's all about. And I'm going to read this off because I would not be able to rehearse what she has under her name. I'd forget it and then show myself up in some way. So fintech, we know what fintech is. So fintech platform, non-exec director, press commentator, which I know because there's a million articles out there which highlights her name and her company. I've been a stalker. I do stalk all of you ladies to learn all about you, which I love. A Lead for Women Who Crypto initiative. This is what really, really interests me. Amazon published author, the Book of Money and Finance. I'll definitely be ordering that. And executive member of the Trade Association Crypto UK. So Katharine, welcome.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Let me just highlight you. It's wonderful to have you on board as well. And may I just say as well, which is so all of her credentials are here, up here, which highlights her name and her company. I've been a stalker. I do stalk all of you ladies to learn all about you, which I love. A Lead for Women Who Crypto initiative. This is what really, really interests me. Amazon published author, the Book of Money and Finance. I'll definitely be ordering that. And executive member of the Trade Association Crypto UK. So Katharine, welcome.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Let me just highlight you. It's wonderful to have you on board as well. And may I just say as well, which is so all of her credentials are here, up here, but also Katharine is very much pregnant.
Very pregnant, yes.
And she said to me last week, Sandy, you know, yeah, absolutely, of course I'll be there. The only way I will not is in case I go into like early labor. I was like, oh, come on, woman. But incredible. So thank you so much. But again, it shows that multi-talented woman of the world who can do all of this, have children, have her family also. So very welcome on board. I'm very, very impressed with your background in fintech, Katharine. So tell us all about it.
Yeah, sure. Look, thanks so much for the invite. It's an amazing community and really thrilled to be a speaker, particularly alongside such other fabulous speakers. Very interesting to hear from Manila. So I think women in STEM subjects are fairly unusual anyway. Being a woman in fintech is quite unusual, and being a woman in crypto makes me like an alien from outer space. So I started off actually in property and very quickly got more interested in the finance element. And of course, we've had technology in banks since the 70s. That's not new. But relatively recently, fintech, particularly in the UK, has been a very popular and successful industry. So I actually worked for a peer-to-peer lender, which is part of sort of the crowdfunding system. And I built out one of Europe's largest for its asset class, which was property. And it really was the cutting edge. You know, when you meet people, you know, whether it's at dinner party or in the coffee shop or because your kids are on the same swings, you'd have to explain what crowdfunding was. So I was really feeling like banking and finance was ripe for disruption. And one of the things that was ripe for disruption is it's basically run by middle-aged white dudes, which has worked really well for a couple of millennia, but is now working less well. So I was very interested in how technology could make wealth more democratic. So I was in crowdfunding, that was really interesting. And I was just kind of getting a sense that the smaller fintechs could disrupt the bigger businesses. So you saw really big banks starting incubator programs, or big banks and asset managers and hedge funds buying in these tiny little companies that were started by, you know, two people in their back bedroom with their dog. So I ended up working for a very specialist technology provider that was in OTC derivatives. And we had technology in Deutsche Bank, Citi, UBS. And I kind of noticed that over a relatively long period of my career, about 10 years, if I had £1 for every time someone assumed I was the PA or the junior person in the room, I'd have a house twice the size of the one I currently do. So I was getting quite frustrated that there weren't really many organisations or support groups for women. I have a very clear memory of working for one particular business where there were 300 people in the building and I was one of only 2 girls. And the major problem with that was that we had unisex toilets. So without being too graphic, because it's early in the day, or without lowering the tone, after about 10 a.m, those unisex toilets were not very lovely. So to be sitting in meetings with, you know, CTOs, CEOs, CCOs of some of the world's biggest investment banks, asset managers, hedge funds was very interesting, but I felt quite underrepresented. So I was actually just working on contract there. I was there for a couple of years as global head of clients, and I got made a really interesting job offer by a crypto business. And I'd done a bit of board work. So actually it's my third blockchain business. Blockchain and crypto are kind of used interchangeably, but actually they're two separate technologies. And you almost just like pass a woman in the corridor and greet them like a long lost friend because you were so unusual. So yeah, 3 blockchain businesses, 2 of which I've done board work for, one valued at 5 million, one valued at 15 million. And the business I currently work for that I'm MD for, I'm a company's house director in the UK. We've got 6 global offices in 6 countries. We're in hypergrowth. We did more business in the UK in the first 7 weeks of this year than we did globally last year. And the thing that I'm probably most proud of is the phenomenal team that I have around me. And actually a few of them I'm very, very pleased they're actually logged into this call and listening. So I have to say nice things about them. So I've got to work with some really super talented people. And one of the things that's very unusual is globally, our business is about 50% female. Some of our offices are 60%. And that is unheard of in financial technology. And one of the things that really annoys me is when I hear businesses say, oh yeah, we've got loads of women and they've got all the crummy low-level jobs. They've got a receptionist and they've got some junior admin staff and there's someone running social media. And actually we're a business that is awash with feisty women. So we have myself as MD, we have a global head of admin, our global head of brand, our finance director in the UK, just to name a few. So one of the things that we sort of started to understand is that most dialogue around wealth is aimed at men. So if anything comes through your door or you look at it in the newspaper, it's always another middle-aged white dude. So crypto specifically argues that wealth needs to be fairer, faster, more democratic, and crypto does not care how old you are, what level of education you are, your race, your gender, your sexual orientation, which is fabulous. So I got very involved in sort of some female investing groups. So I've won awards for being a woman in crypto, I commentate for the press, I've started giving TV comment. But the thing that I am most proud about my career is that I facilitate what I believe is the largest group of women in crypto. It's called imaginatively Women Who Crypto. You can find us on Facebook. And very much like Sandy, we seek to empower other women and bring them together. So they're from all different walks of life. They're not just PhD economists. They are normal, everyday women that have anything from a full-time job in crypto like I do to a passing side hustle. We have people of all ages, all sexual orientations, all marital statuses, some with kids, some without. It's a really big variety of people. And the stories they share are anything from investing to dating to who does the washing up to what they do about childcare. And it's probably the most. But my mother's still a governor of that school, even though I'm 39, 37.
Really?
Talk about women in STEM really, and I get quite a bit of press coverage, so I think that occasionally probably helps.
Very good. You're the star. So crypto means secret, which I didn't know that, and is a word some may or may not be familiar with. Me, no, not really familiar with, but not known. So explain what it is about. I know you've just mentioned, and how women can crypto.
Yeah, sure. So we give out a lot of free education. So if you find us Women Who Crypto online on Facebook, we also have a free event coming up a week today, so next Wednesday the 30th at 8 p.m, which everyone's very welcome. It's free and it's a fantastic event. So crypto is simply a new type of currency. So the most famous crypto is Bitcoin. You may also have heard of Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin is always out there with Elon Musk. So we're a crypto exchange. We help people buy, sell, store crypto, but our primary function is to educate people about the space for free. And we help people build their wealth with crypto. We're not a trading platform. We're assisting people in building their wealth. So crypto has done phenomenally well. It was the best performing asset on the face of the planet last year and this year. And that message is starting to get out. And unusually, and there are a few people on this call that would know more about it than I do because they're part of our business, we're actually a distribution-led business. So 99% of our business is recommendation. So many of our customers, we've got tens of thousands of users, will go out and tell other people. Again, I'd imagine our distribution is heavily weighted for women. Some very talented people here. Faye, Nikki, I can see. Sharon, I think, is on here as well. So they go out and share their stories. So women are natural networkers. We're very good at sharing information. We're good at building other people up. We're good at inspiring, and that's worked very well. So if you want to hear more about crypto, there's stacks of free educational resources. We're launching a free ebook as well next week. So anyone who is listening in, more than welcome to join.
Saying about crypto and you're saying about the amount of women you have in your company, I think that's incredible to hear, and it is rare. And as you said, other companies will claim, well, we've got lots of women who work for us, but as you said, they're not in the more higher up positions. So do you think this is something particularly maybe like millennials, younger people will be a bit more familiar with it? Me being a little bit older, it's coming a bit later to me, and I would absolutely love, I'm definitely going to log on to some of these forums you've mentioned, but to learn about it, but to also, because younger people technology wise are more on it because they're born into it and growing up with it. So
yeah, sure. So I think, and it's probably culturally, you're absolutely right, Sandy. Culturally, the millennials are probably more au fait, digital natives. I think myself and a few other people on this call are old enough to remember the world without the internet, without a mobile phone, without a smartphone. So actually most of our users would tend to be that sort of 38 to 65 bracket. We're a wealth business, not a trading business. So we actually specialize in helping people find that information from scratch. We're probably the market leader in that. And I think it's interesting. I think women tend to be better at the educational process. They tend to be better at sharing information. And look, if you need something, whether it's, a new hairdresser or someone to tile your bathroom or, a good book recommendation, as women, we tend to ask our social circle, whereas I don't tend to see my male friends or my partner doing the same. So we have a slightly older crowd, but I think there is a sense that, look, we've seen new technology come through and lots of people are very intrigued by what crypto is doing. And look, it will be the dominant technology very shortly. It's being adopted by Visa, PayPal, MasterCard, all the big banks, asset managers. Around a third of the institutions now own crypto. So it's my opinion, and I've been proven right so far, that technology will dominate. It will be exactly the same as 20 years ago, thinking, are you sure that everyone's going to have an 800 quid smartphone running their life? That doesn't sound right. The crypto boom will make the .com era look like chicken feed. It is the most fundamental shift in technology that we will see in our lifetime, which I think is interesting. And I think particularly because it's so much more democratic in spreading that wealth, I think it's a great opportunity for women. And I think for all the women that I talk to that have crypto as a little bit of a side investment, the reasons they're investing vary massively from, I'm a prolific investor across 30 different asset classes, to it's a bit of a side hustle, to it's an insurance policy against my marriage, to it's a bit of pocket money. And I think there's 1,000 reasons for investing in crypto, and crypto does a good job of fitting that brief.
So what would be, just a last little question, because the questions I want to ask you, you've answered them with which is great. What advice though would you give to somebody? So a normal, average, everyday person, woman, man, whoever it is, says, oh, okay, I've got a few extra quid here, I'd like to invest. What would be, number one, maybe a minimum spend? And how would they just go about it?
Yeah, sure. So one of the massive misinformation or misunderstandings about crypto is that you need an enormous amount of money. So people probably know that one Bitcoin is 25,000 pounds roughly, as we're talking. You don't need 25,000 pounds to go and start looking at crypto. There's a number of platforms, ours included, that start at 100 pounds, which is great, but just go and find out a bit more. It's like waking up and saying, I want to be a dentist, or I want to be a teacher, or I want to learn about gardening. There's a reasonable learning curve to come there. So I will say to anyone that will listen to me in the supermarket queue or at the swings or at the coffee shop, go and educate yourself, because this technology is coming at us like a freight train. So find some education. There's plenty of free education online, including via Daxi.
Oh, no, that's fantastic. I very rarely pick up a magazine. I'll tell you when I usually do is when I'm flying, which I haven't flown for a long time. But last week when it was super sunny, I actually took myself over to St. James's Park with a little picnic on my own, sadly. And I picked up a couple of magazines and I open up, and Katharine is on this big double page spread. And this is where I actually learned a little there. You explained it very well about minimum spend, etc., all of that. And it was very useful information. But if you wouldn't mind, Katharine, maybe at the end, I don't know, whatever, give me a direct link, or let one of your colleagues put one in there that people could, because just as somebody who has kind of no idea but would like to learn, because there's a lot of different places you can Google in and we're misinformed then.
Yeah, of course. I'll pop it in the chat and then hopefully people can see it.
I don't want to be behind. If all of you people are on crypto and Bitcoins, I need to be in the know so I can say to my daughters, I know what this is all about. Katharine, that's wonderful. Thank you very, very, very much. Again, maybe we'll speak to you at the end here, but we'll move on now due to time. That's excellent information. And I'd like to actually maybe plan another session, but where it's just all about cryptos.
Yeah, of course, no problem. Thanks for the invite. Much appreciated, Sandy.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, guys, unfortunately, Mary Jo Leeuw, Netherlands, sent me through, I'm just sort of seeing it now, so our thoughts and prayers are with her. Sadly, her mother passed away last night, so unfortunately, she won't be joining us today. So that's very sad. I've just briefly looked at the message here now. I was wondering why she wasn't on. So we'll move on to Hasnae. Let me see if I can get her up here on her video. So Hasnae, she is online here. Beautiful Hasnae, good morning. Oh, good afternoon. You're in the UAE, of course. You muted still? Let's unmute you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Perfect.
So good afternoon to you, not good morning, because you are in the UAE. So Hasnae, Moroccan, born, based in the UAE, member of the US Chamber of Commerce in the UAE, was voted, tell me if this is correct, the best youngest trader by The Richest. So it's a company called The Richest, which I think is amazing. So this is exciting. Another superwoman in the world of men, but we are showing that we are empowering through. So there's a lot more I can say about you, but I'd like you to tell us yourself. So good afternoon, first of all, and welcome. And
thank you. Thank you so much.
We had a lovely chat the other day. And I thought, oh my gosh, when I'm in the UAE, I'm definitely going to meet up with Hasnae, because she was good fun, great fun, and good to chat to. So Hasnae, let's begin. How did you get into trading at such a young age?
Okay, I was 17 by that time, and I was in the States. So I went to the US to do my bachelor's degree at that time. And then I just said to myself, I need to be independent. I was fascinated by this idea of Wonder Woman. So I said to myself, yeah. So I just had this idea. I didn't accept my parents to send me this amount of money, and then I am limited to spending it. And I said to myself, I need another source of income. For me to be able to go somewhere and to work for it, it just didn't align with my schedule when I was studying. So I thought, what is this thing that I can do online that I can gain money from, that inspires me? And then I found about trading, and I found about the stock market. And actually the reason, because one of our classes was about macroeconomics and the financial markets. So these two combined together put me in the road of stock trading, basically. So at the age of 17, I started with $1,000 only. And then I just got in, and the purpose was for me to basically you know, pay my own bills, pay my own education. But then I got into it hardly and deeply, and so I made a kind of a huge success in it. And then I was like, okay, I'm good at this. Let me just keep on doing it. But on the way, I educated myself too much in it. I did a lot of coaching. I did a lot of trainings. I did a lot of paper trading. Paper trading means trading with paper money. Until I got in there, and then I got noticed by the NASDAQ, and then they were like, who's this young person? Because on my profile, they would see that I was only 17 and I was trading and I was a female, plus I was not American at that time. And then I said, you know, they started reaching out to me to learn about my own strategies. I had certain strategies I would adopt in that time. So, and then they started like getting me in for interviews to speak about those strategies and to basically share this with the world.
Sorry, it delays slightly when I unmute myself. Do you know, it's so interesting hearing this. And I mean, I know, again, as I said before, I've been based in the Middle East. I've even been based in Saudi Arabia, which again is another step different, as in for where women fit into the business world. So I think you rocking up in as a trader on the trading floor there must have been some challenges with you being so young and being a female, as you just mentioned. But then also it is such a man's world as such. And we need to change this around, you know. And I think instead of us having a bit of an attitude of, you know, but I'm a woman, I should be here, and, you know, because we can empower, we do empower, we are, you know, an amazing species of a human being, but men are also. So I loved one of your statements you'd put, I think, when you were speaking at the Women's Summit. And so Hasnae speaks here, there, and everywhere. Again, you can look her up, and she pops up in all kinds of media with a microphone in her hand. She's not singing, although she was going to be a singer, but she's around all over the place. So anyway, you must have experienced some hurdles along the way, challenges.
Yeah. Okay. Since I was 17, since that time, I was wearing multiple hats. I was having a 9-to-5 job, and then at the same time, I would be trading during my spare time until I became a professional trader. The challenge was in every single sector that I did, or whatever I was. Like, the first thing was that you're a female. The second thing was your age, you're still young. The third thing was, and those things. Now, the crazy part is that the men would make it really hard, because when they see women, and especially if you're kind of taking care of yourself with your looks and everything, and then they just see your body, they see how you look like today. Oh, you look fantastic. For example, now you could be doing this webinar and, you know, a conference, and then people, instead of appreciating the hard work that you're doing, they're appreciating your looks. I mean, there's a difference between these two, right? So that's exactly what was happening with me. And the second thing was, as I said, my age. So people would say, oh, you're still too young to do this or to do that. And I'm like, if I were in your shoes, I would probably judge based on your attitude, based on your performance. And then it's that kind of hope and trust that you put in somebody. That's how you push them to be better and better and better. So those were all big challenges that made me think, oh, I will just do it by myself. I don't need somebody. But then on the way to there, you find out that you would still need people to do it, because it's not just going to work doing it alone. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of challenges, but it's about how you deal with those challenges and how you deal with the differences. And then something that I always say, it's about the art of delegation. Like, what are the things that you delegate to others, especially to men, if they are in your life?
Good, very good advice. Delegation is a very key point there. I think as well, Manila, you probably experienced some of the same, slightly being so young but so talented and so in a techie world. You know, you must have, you know, people wouldn't think you're so smart and have this experience and this knowledge, you know, to push yourself forward.
Yeah, exactly. I agree completely. And also, like, I never try to display myself as being young and smart. Like, I'm always trying to be as humble as possible. So, if
Manila's 45, really. I'm trying to be 21 again. I'm trying to be the younger one, not the older one. Sorry, thank you, Manila. And so, Hasnae, back to you. Full of energy and enthusiasm. What is your main focus and plans for the future?
I actually, when I started going to these, I've been invited to speak in a lot of conferences about women empowerment, and that got actually my focus lately, because I thought, if this is something that I do that would encourage other women to do it, then why not? So one of my focuses is basically to help women to become better, to become independent, to gain that trust and self-esteem. I'm engaged with a coach. She's an international royal coach called Noor Al Khoury. She's basically a protocol coach and etiquette coach. So I was involved with her lately, just to kind of push the women to become a better version of themselves, to become the real ladies. And I'm also helping now in the coaching when it comes to, you know, coaching about stock markets and how to become independent, even if you don't have a lot of knowledge in terms of financial markets. Like, you don't have to have that knowledge, but you need to have a strategy in place. So currently I am helping the women to reach to that level. Only women for now.
Just stick with women for now. Keep that going with the women. Women just, not because they need that extra help, but I think, again, as Katharine mentioned earlier, you know, there's that kind of empathy with women. We will say, yeah, where do you know a good hairdresser? You know, we can have that kind of down to earth little chat. It's not just in the boardroom talk. And I think this is where we develop very strong, good, long lasting relationships in business and in as friends. Only if they don't get jealous of each other. When I came here to the Middle East, I saw that, like, in the Western community, like, you don't see this often. But if you're in the Arab world, I mean, you see women comparing each other to each other, you know, it's like, what kind of bag you're wearing, I'm going to wear something better than it. Or if I don't have the money to get it, I'm going to ask my husband to buy it for me. And that's really, you know, that I think if there is no jealousy in there, I think women can do great, massive things to each other. They can support each other and they understand each other, emotionally speaking. What's that saying? I was just trying to look it up quickly. What's that lovely saying? And it's basically, be the kind of woman who fixes another woman's crown without telling the world it was crooked. And I think that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Again, it's not about, it's like, oh, let her look awful and let the world actually help her out, support her. She's doing great. I'm very fortunate to have really amazing friends anyway, but a lot of my friends who are entrepreneurs and very successful, and they're very supportive of me, and likewise I am with them also. And again, this is what this network is all about. It's about not bitchiness, being, oh, look at her, you know, it's like, wow, look at her.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. And I think if there's always any contacts people want to pass on, don't be afraid to do so, just because they might do a little better. You know, it's all about karma as well. You know, just be nice to people, be kind to people, and hopefully it will come back to you.
You would.
Hasnae, no, that's wonderful, and that's lovely to hear. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Right, guys, sorry, I'm just going to flip quickly over to what I was saying earlier about so this is all about extraordinary and ordinary super women. So, and enabling you to inspire, connect with other people, have people in your network who you may not have normally had in your network. And I'm just trying to find her now. So Nadine van Dongen is she's the founder and CEO of, I'm trying to find, oh, I found her there, of PIP Health, so Patient Intelligence. And she had an article, actually, I'm going to let her tell you herself. Let me find you, start her video, or else I'm going to mess it up a little bit here. Sorry, there's so many people to run for. I've got so many people on different channels. I'm trying to just get it all up and together. Nadine, have I found you? Sorry, guys, just very quickly.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you, but I want to see you. I need to see you also. I don't like just listening. I like to see.
Let me see if I can I highlight myself? I think you have to.
This is when I need all of you. Here we are. This is when I need you techie ladies. I need Manila now helping me out, saying, come on, Sandy, do this. Nadine, please tell us.
Hi, yeah, Sandy. I just I emailed you this morning just before the meeting, because I have like I want to thank you and the Women's Warrior Network, because thanks to your network, I've been I connected with Ella. And Ella and I were both working for pharmaceutical companies, and through the network we got into contact. We arranged a meeting together, and now 2 days ago we published an article together about the empowerment of carers in healthcare. So people who care for sick people and terminally ill people, that and also other kind of disease areas, but that they need to be empowered to make decisions in healthcare. And Ella is a brilliant entrepreneur as well. She's in coaching. She helps coach carers, but also patients, or even people in businesses. She runs coaching sessions, and I have a patient network or patient group where I give patients a voice in healthcare. So that was a perfect combination. We wrote an article together and we published it. And I think Sandy published it as well on the Women's Warrior Network, or she will do it today. But I wanted to thank Sandy for introducing us. And I would also like to tell all the women in this network and men in the network to connect with each other, and beautiful things can come out of that. So thank you again, and thank you, Women Warriors.
Nadine, thank you so very much. So Nadine did speak at the last event also, so she's becoming a prominent figure here and doing exactly what I wish you all to do, is to connect with people. You know, you never know what that connection may bring. It may be friendship, which is amazing, and we love to have lots more friends and people in our lives. But then on a business level, you know, you never know what that business connection may bring and what you could bring to them also. So don't ever forget your talents. And it isn't just all about women. I mean, you know, we've got to be the women on this, you know, and rule it just a little bit. But we do need those men by our side also, because they make us extraordinary when we may just be ordinary, and likewise we do with them. So on that note, I'm going to cut it off now. I was going to go into the questions, but we'll probably run over, and I know people are in different countries. I want to say a huge thank you, and by all of you ladies and men joining, you know, speaking and being global all around the world. I want to continue to make this a big network. And as I said, hopefully we'll be able to do it in reality. As soon as I can get on that plane, I'll be over to your countries and annoying you all and seeing you all in person, and just developing and growing this even more. So thank you very much, everybody. I'm wishing you all a wonderful day. To all of our speakers, Manila, Katharine, Hasnae, Nadine, thank you for popping in. And sorry to Mary Jo, who couldn't be with us. We'll try and get her on board next month. The next event is the 23rd of July, I think it is, off the top of my head, but I will put it in, and I hope that you will all join. So please connect with the people who've spoken today. They've told incredible stories, taught us a lot, and, you know, let's just continue this. So Women Warriors, here we go. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic day. Katharine, good luck with the baby. Manila, virtual world, we're going to be in your virtual world soon, so thank you. Hasnae,
thanks again.
She's going to sing us a song.